Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dallas Daily Show, coming at you from the Neighborhood Loan Studio here in St. Louis, Missouri. We are continuing to talk about summer break and kids home from school. Today's topic is a snack we just ate. Let's get into the conversation. All right, so yesterday we talked about this idea of needing to be adaptable, needing to adapt because the summer schedule with the kids being home, and it definitely, excuse me, I'm going to restart that one to cut out the belch. Excuse me. It's because I'm breathing through my mouth because I can't breathe through my nose, Taylor. Okay. Here we go. Can you cut back to the main for me real fast? Thanks. All right. All right, my friends. So yesterday we kind of started to chat about this concept of having to be a little bit adaptable as the seasons change. And for us, the adaptation comes with children being home from school. Always a good time. Everything has shifted for us. Meg and I, my wife, who was here, by the way, and if you haven't listened to her episodes of the pod, you totally should. Cheap plug. But she and I, we both work from home. And at least 3 days a week, I'm working from home, whether it's on Zoom calls with clients or doing deep work, creating content, etc. But the children being home has definitely added a new dynamic to everything, and we're still trying to keep several of the schedules, but now it's making sure that, hey, there's lunches at this time. The kitchen's closed, boys. The number of times I've had to say that in the last 2 weeks, where they just go in and pop into a cabinet or pop into the fridge, I'm like, hey, the kitchen's closed. The kitchen's closed. The cafeteria, pretend like you're at school hours and it's closed now. But one of the boys the other day, he just kept saying, but I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I'm like, go outside. He's like, but I'm hungry. I need a snack. And I'm like, you just ate. You just ate. And what we're realizing is it's because they're bored. And yeah, I know it's only the second, third week of June when this episode airs. And you're bored already? We've got another one of those episodes coming here, one of those as far as a topic coming up. But what I'm realizing is they're wanting an activity. Now, some of their friends, some of the neighborhood friends, or some of their school friends that they'll ride their bike over to their house, or sometimes they go to a pool party. A lot of those kids are away at different camps this week. And like my boys, Lex was at a camp, and he's been doing football practices now, and Arrow has been doing wrestling camp. And so everybody's kind of moving, and not all of their friends are available all the time. Plus, also here in St. Louis, we have had some wonky weather the last couple weeks. I don't know if you can hear it in my sinuses. This is not allergies coming through this microphone. This is, I cannot breathe because one day it's 85 and hot, the other day it's like 60 and rainy. Then there's a ton of air pressure, then a front moves in, and then all of a sudden pollen feels like it, just everything is moving around. So all of this shift and all of these seasons, but the boys have not been able to consistently find their routine. They wake up, we do breakfast, they have chores every day. There's learning time every day. We're making sure that they're doing their summer reading. We'll do a Bible study and or prayer with them. So we kind of got some routines, but then post lunch, it's kind of their day to do whatever. Well, if it's raining, they're asking for a little bit of media, and we're like, do something fun and creative instead. Or they're asking for, like, Mom, what are you doing now? Well, Mom's trying to get work done. Like, every parent who's listening to this podcast can feel my pain right now. Taylor's not married yet. Taylor, can I call you out? Producer Taylor. All right. She's not married yet. I don't know if she wants kids. We've never talked about it or not. I'm not going to ask you on air to divulge any of this information. You do? All right. She willingly offered the information that she wants kids. Well, now that you've said yes, can I just ask how many? Do you know? 2 or 3. All right. Pretty good. I can tell you 3 is rough. No. With 2, you can play a man-to-man defense, but once it gets to 3, you got to have a zone with your spouse. But any parent listening to this, you kind of understand the pain of the summer thing. What I've found, though, is a lot of it is I'm kind of bored and I don't know what to do. Well, I might as well snack. because at least that's an activity. Like throwing chips in your gullet is at least an activity, right? Slicing up an apple and dropping one of those is at least an activity when all other activities are kind of boring to you. And I just began to think, oh, I know exactly what they're doing. They're doing the thing that all of us do as adults as well. Not necessarily on the eating thing, but we're filling our days sometimes with mindless activities, or we call it, doom scrolling, right? We're bored, and so what we're doing is we're finding a way to fill the time that might not necessarily be in the healthiest thing. Even though our lives are very full, even though we, quote, just ate, we're still, now I need some kind of mental snack. Now I need some kind of emotional sugar coating. Now I need something that is going to allow me to be mildly distracted. And I don't think it's neurodivergence necessarily. I don't think it's ADHD or any of that. I think we have habitual ways of filling our time with the mundane. And I'm wondering if there's a way for you and I to start to think to ourselves, what's a better way to fill that time? Because the moment I say to the boys, hey, you just ate, are you really hungry? They're like, no, not really. I just don't know what else to do. The moment that occurs, I say, okay, what are 2 or 3 things that we can think of and do instead? And they come up with it, and whether they begrudgingly do it or not, they still do it. And I'm just thinking in our lives too, we could be doing the same stuff. You and I could be, not begrudgingly, but we could say, boy, what else could I do here rather than the doom scroll, rather than the sedation thing that I always typically do, rather than the blank? You fill it in, right? That's my challenge for you today. Yesterday, the challenge was, where are you holding on to things too tightly? Where are you holding on to things too loosely? And maybe you need to loosen some up and tighten some up and adapt a little bit. Today, I want you to think, where are you filling your time with things that are not moving your life forward in a productive way? Simply because you're bored with what you're doing and you don't know how to fill the next step. So just think about that in your life, my friends. That's all I got for you today. Summer break is a fascinating time. Make it productive. Make it proactive. Make it possible for you to continue to become the future you that you hope to be. All right, go out there and have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to DallasDailyShow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.